Well, we're currently taking a break from the diet today. The reason being, it was a company potluck at the store I work at, and I wanted to bring some cookies over, and of course, I also wanted to join in the festivities as well. And seeing as it takes about 2 to 3 days to get back into ketosis, it could take as little as one day, depending on, how fast you burn through all the carbs you just loaded up on and how much exercise you do. But just general moving around and, walking and all that stuff usually takes about 2 to 3 days for you to use up your carb supply to get back into ketosis. And so, considering that I am also not planning on eating keto on Thanksgiving, which is the day after tomorrow, and I ate non-keto today, I will also not be eating keto tomorrow as well. So, wait, not going to be eating keto yesterday, tomorrow, or Thanksgiving. There we go. So I guess this is very unusual because normally I give it 3 weeks per block of keto eating because I think that's enough time to get into ketosis and then start using fat as fuel to eventually get down to the desired weight that I am shooting for. So yeah, that's the plan. As soon as Thanksgiving is over, I will be officially switching back into keto mode until I hit my desired weight goal of 145, and then as soon as that happens, I will be switching into incorporating more just regular healthy whole food carbs like grains and beans, legumes, things like that. And of course, like whole grains. So, I guess in a way, this is sort of like a mini vacation from keto. It's a pretty interesting feeling. It feels kind of, exactly like a vacation. Very like lack of needing to be responsible for what I'm putting. I mean, when I say that, I don't mean I'm just gonna, eat anything. But what I do mean is that, like, normally I'm like, okay, how many grams of carbs does this have, or net carbs? All right, how many calories am I putting in my body today? Like, I'm not going to worry about that for a while now. So, and it's sort of a weirdly freeing feeling, I will say. But of course, throwing caution to the wind is fun in short bursts, but doing it, all the time leads to disaster long term for health. So that's why this is only going to be a short little 3-day reprieve from my keto ways, so I can enjoy the holiday season and eat foods that like I would not normally eat otherwise, like cinnamon rolls, pumpkin pie, things like that I've been missing out on throughout the fall season that I've willingly ignored because it doesn't fit into my dietary regime. So, yeah. I guess I could just still say how much I weighed in the morning and went through what I ate today, just for old time's sake then. But I'm not going to do it as a keto diet update. I'm just doing it more so as this is what happened. So I'm going to do it like my older videos before I went on the diet, where I simply just go play by play through my day and then simply just bring up what was eaten throughout. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the morning, I was woken up by my mom, and she wanted me to take the green trash can out because it had been left in the backyard. So I was like, okay, I'll take the green trash can out. So I went into the back. I was really groggy, I was really tired, and I was trying to get this thing out. But little did I know there was going to be a nasty surprise waiting for me. When I tipped the trash bin over, so it could be on the wheels, leaning on the wheels, so I could, push it into the front of the house to be picked up. A horrid smell was emanating from a fluid leak that was coming out of the bottom crack of the trash bin. And by golly, this just was one of the worst smelling stinky water leaks I've ever smelled in my life. Like, it smelled like water that had been just, still and collecting microbes and germs and bacteria for who knows how long. And like plenty of dead like plants and things like that. It was a really gross and uncomfortable experience. But I was able to push that out. It was so heavy though. That's another thing. Like, you're halfway asleep. You're super groggy. You went to bed super late last night because you were making cookies for work. And then when you get up in the morning, you're woken up with only like 2.5 hours of sleep, and you gotta like force yourself to get up and take out like a green trash bin before the trash man arrives later in the morning. And then when you do take it out, it's super heavy, and like a leakage comes that smells like the worst thing ever, like pure sewage or whatever, or plant sewage or something like that. And it was just overall ugly and a horrible experience. But I did it. I had to keep my distance from the bin because I didn't want the whatever was leaking from it to get on my pajamas. So I just continued to push it out until eventually it got to the front of the house, thanks to me. And then I went into the back, but suddenly I needed to use the restroom. And I thought, dang, well, if I'm already up and I'm in here and I feel kind of gross dealing with that whole trash situation, I might as well take a shower now. So that's what I did. I took a shower. I got nice, fresh, and clean. And when I got out, I eventually decided to go take a nap until like around 10, because that I actually was originally planning on waking up at 10, but I completely forgot to take out the green trash, so that's why I was notified by my mom in the morning to do it. So that's what I did. But yeah, I continued to sleep up until like around 9:30 when my mom needed my help lifting a super heavy cinder block that she bought for a backyard project. And so I got up, and of course, before I did that, I actually remember I did this before going back to sleep until around 9:30 after my shower, which took like 30 minutes. I shower really slow. I um I decided to uh turn on the oven at 350 degrees for the cookies. So that's what I did. And yeah, um, they were, the oven was heating up. And when I was woken up by my mom later, the oven was ready. So I got the cookie dough balls that I formed last night out, and I was getting them at room temperature. And I cut out some parchment paper, put them on cookie sheets, and then I put cookie the dough on the parchment paper on the sheets, and I popped one in the oven and prepared the next one for when the first batch was ready. And when that was getting ready, I went outside to help lift the heavy cinder block with my mom into a wheelbarrow, and then I helped roll the wheelbarrow with her to the back of the house, their backyard, where we grabbed the cinder block and we lifted it and set it on a we set it in a designated area. I don't know exactly how to say where we set it. We just set it in an area that we knew would be perfect for it to be. My mom got one, and it's got like two metal like clamps sticking out, and those are supposed to be used to hold up a wooden beam, so that way you could create a little like sunroom or sunshade for your backyard. And yeah, that's what my mom's trying to do. So I was helping her out with that. Once we were done with that, I went to the kitchen to check on the cookies. They were good to go. I took them out. My mom wanted to try one, and so I got a cookie out and I gave it to her. It hadn't completely cooled yet, so when she bit it, the inside was like melted chocolate, but also had that uncooked cookie dough taste to it. Where it was like really hot or really warm, but the it hadn't given it enough time to settle yet, so it was still like had that cookie dough texture. But she said she still liked it. One of the things I noticed was that probably because the balls were refrigerated and hadn't fully reached room temperature by the time I took them out and put them on the tray and threw that in the oven, it caused them to form in a way where like they were really round, like thick at the middle, and they were like slim at the ends. So next one, I decided to smash the balls to be a bit flatter. So I put those on the next sheet and I tried that for 350 for 12 minutes. I thought, well, the last batch I took out at 10 minutes and they were a bit gooey in the middle, so perhaps 12 minutes would be a safer bet. I believe I was right, because when I took them out, they were more of a golden brown, and they seemed to, the texture of the cookies seemed to be more well formed with the way it looked, whereas the previous one, it did look a little on the undercooked side. So I was learning as I was going along, which was pretty cool. Then after that, happened after that? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I put that batch in. It cooked. I took it out. I checked to see how it was um, doing, and it was doing good. And then I just continued to finish off the rest of the balls until every single one had its home. And once they all had their home, then I could put them in a little plastic container, which I would drive to my job so I could easily deliver them. And I got some white paper. I asked my mom for help if she could help me find some tape. She found some for me. I was very grateful for that. We taped the white paper onto the plastic Tupperware. And then I got some colored pens and I drew in fall colors on the paper on the Tupperware. Welcome to the stash. And then I asked my mom, hey, what else do you think I should put on there? And she said, don't worry about calories, enjoy. So I put that on after the welcome to the stash thing. So that was a lot of fun. I did it in like a really rounded look, and it just had a really nice and fluffy look to it that was really, really good, and I really liked it. So yeah, and I colored each letter in fall colors, and yeah, it was pretty cute overall, I would say. Well, once that was done, I needed to get dressed for work, so I got my gear on. I got the cookies, and then I drove off to work. When I got to work, it was ridiculously busy. I mean, super busy. It makes sense, of course, because Thanksgiving and all, but man, it was crazy. Especially for like, what day is it? Is it like a Tuesday today, I think? No, it's not a Tuesday, is it? One second, I'm checking on my phone really quick. Wednesday. It's a Wednesday today. Oh, wait, no. It was a Tuesday today. The reason why I said Wednesday was because I'm actually recording this at like 1:53 in the morning. So it's like really the next day, not today as I've been referring to it. But I'm saying today because I'm still pretending like it was like the day as it happened, like today, even though it's tomorrow. Okay, enough of this. Let's just move on to the workday. So I remember the first 3 hours I was given front end duty, and most of that was just spent bagging. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, there were some funny interactions with coworkers, but other than that, like, it's all right, I would say. Last hour was spent doing a lot, so I did my best. And when I was done, I punched out, and then I decided to go upstairs and enjoy the potluck. They had pizza, they had fried chicken, they had cupcakes. They had just had an all manner of different goods to choose from. I decided to try a Gatorade Blue because it'd been forever since I had a Gatorade. So I had that. It was all right. I had like 4 pieces of pizza, so I'm not going to be surprised if I jump up quite a bit tomorrow. Um, 2 cheese, 2 pepperoni. I think I liked the cheese better. Um, they were Costco pizzas. And beans, which were pretty good, and fried chicken, um, which I reheated in the microwave. Very good. And yeah, just had some good communal time with my coworkers. It was nice. I liked it. Well, after it was done with that, and I did do a breathwork meditation for 20 minutes at the end of the lunch break. I punched back in, and throughout that next 4 hours, it would go between bagging for the first hour, and then occasionally, well, I didn't really take many orders out today, so I think there was like one, but it was instead like designated to someone else because all the phones that were used for taking out orders were taken. I did take one. Yeah. It was like at the very end of the day where someone confused their delivery time with being 9 p.m. instead of 9 a.m. So that was pretty late. Um yeah. Well, yeah, first hour bagging, second hour lot, third hour cart I'm sorry, sweep duty. Wait, no. First hour bagging, second hour sweep duty, third hour uh bagging again, and fourth hour lot. I think that's what it was, if I'm not mistaken. Well, after that, I punched out. I decided to grab some leftover fried chicken I was planning on eating um later throughout the next 2 days, and I said goodbye to all my coworkers. I actually little miscommunication thing happened around when I was supposed to leave. You see, I normally am given like closing duties to do, um, and during these closing duties, like I need to like do things like change the cleaner's paper towels or wipe down check stands, things like that. But um, it was so busy during lot around my like last hour that I barely had any time to change the cleaner. So I had to find all the cleaners, and I was going to change them, but then one of the co-boss saw me and was like, "Hey, don't do that. We got like a bazillion customers, and we need you to be in the front end. Do it later." And I tried to explain the whole situation, like, look, like I'm out at 9, and it I just need to get this done before I leave. But I guess he didn't hear the 9 part. He just like, we need workers, and to be fair, like he did, because like I think I was like the only one on the front end, and I wasn't even supposed to be there for the like next hour, like from 9 to 10. I was supposed to be at 9, but I was asked to help out. Um, like my co one of my co-bosses, just they were like really needed like all hands on deck, and saw me and was like going to change some cleaners, but like clearly that was not a priority. It was helping the customers for, because customers first. So so I was like, okay, I guess I'm helping the customers. So I did bagged a whole lot of customers, and yeah, took orders out and just tried to be generally a good help. And overall, I did explain the mishap, the miscommunication with one of the cashiers, who then decided to talk to the co-manager that I had the mishap with, and They forgave me and said it's all good. It was just a little communication. Thanks for staying to help. I was like, oh, thanks. So yeah, I punched out. Um, and yeah, I got the fried chicken and the cookie tub, which was completely empty. The cookies were a huge hit. A lot of my coworkers ended up eating them all. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It feels good when you make something that like people like, and you know the cookie jar is empty. It feels like you really like, ooh, I did something good. That feels good, I guess. Or maybe not, I guess. It does feel good. Yeah. So I uh, walked down the stairs. I said goodbye to all of my coworkers, and then I walked out, and I was looking for something to listen to on my way home because I was like super exhausted, and I just wanted something that like would really pick my energy up for the drive back. And like I found like a song like from Cryo Shell called Bye Bye Babylon, which was like a song they used to play in like the old Bionicle commercials back in 2009, I believe. And I was like, ooh, this is so nostalgic core. I better put this on. So I put it on, and I was driving home, and I was like getting like pretty into the music. I was like, ooh, this is fun. I like this. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And when I got back, I looked at the comment section, which I always like doing for like videos, and one of the people said, just checking back to make sure it wasn't nostalgia. This song still kicks butt today. And I was like, yeah, I agree. So I got out of the car. I put away the chicken in the fridge, and then I greeted our cat Avery. He seems to be doing. I mean, his legs seem to be quite weak, which is very sad to see. Like his back legs specifically, he has a hard time keeping his balance, and like they're wobbling. But he's still drinking water, which is a good sign, I would say. And he was eating a slice of beef lunch meat that I gave him. So that's also a good sign too. At least he's trying to get some nutrition and liquids in his body. So that's nice. I even decided to hang around with him, and I found cat purrs on YouTube, and I played that in front of him while just petting him and hoping that could lift his spirits. And he seemed to like it. He like sat on top of my phone with the cat purrs and like seemed to be enjoying it. Yeah, it was good. I liked doing that. It was nice. But I didn't want to take my phone and make my update video then, because I wanted my cat to enjoy the sounds. So I decided to go into the den, and I decided to watch just a bunch of random junk. Like for whatever reason, I wanted to like go back and see all the memes from the Minecraft movie. It was like a weird longing I had. I'm not sure why. Probably because it was like one of the weirdest movie phenomenons of this year, and I just wanted to remind myself how weird that was by watching like theater reactions to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this actually happened. This is reality. This is so crazy, And then I was like recommending the YouTube recommended page SpongeBob movie memes. I'm like, wait, what? And I guess there's this new SpongeBob movie coming out. SpongeBob, the movie Search for SquarePants, I think is what it's called. And in the trailer, there's a bunch of different lines that people take out of context, and then they just put a speed up on it and then a slow down on the voice, and then they put them in like a ranked list, and like what's like a good quote from the trailer. I guess what happened with the Minecraft movie earlier this year, some people are attempting to replicate with the SpongeBob movie at the end of the year, which is interesting. And it seems like the only line that seems to have any sort of appeal, like the Minecraft movie trailers did, was the line, "We need to go to the underworld," spoken by Mr. Krabs. That was like the only line that I could see having some sort of meme potential, just because of the way it sounds like the Nether from the Minecraft movie, or a Minecraft movie. Um, but everything else, I don't know. I feel like it's a little too generic, or just not as like, full of energy enough to where I would say, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be like a meme material. I don't know what I mean when I say not full of energy, or I guess what I'm trying to say is like the thing with like the way like Jack Black delivered his lines in a Minecraft movie was like so like, goofy, but in like a uniquely Jack Black way. And I guess it would just so happen to be based on a video game that has a lot of mass appeal, like with millions of fans who would have went to see it. So I mean, the fact that it had those two mimetic things going for it makes it work. SpongeBob, I mean, don't get me wrong, SpongeBob is a very meme worthy cartoon that has spawned a lot of like classic memes that people like using. But when it comes to like the whole, oh, let's take lines out of context from the trailer and try to make them into, the next Minecraft movie thing, let's go viral. I don't know. I feel like, well, first of all, classic SpongeBob is the one that a lot of people meme about. Not saying there isn't any new episodes where people try to make memes of, but let's be real, most of the iconic memes that people know from SpongeBob come from the first 3 seasons and the movie. Anything afterwards, yeah, I mean, it still exists, like the chicken SpongeBob mocking thing. Yeah, that was from a later season. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that, like, I feel like those kinds of memes really can only come out organically based on like a circumstance, and something about the whole trying to make like, ooh, SpongeBob the next a Minecraft movie meme generator phenomenon just feels kind of forced to me, because I was like looking at all the lines they had, and I don't know, they just didn't have that same delivery or tenacity that the lines that Jack Black delivered in the a Minecraft movie trailers. Like I guess Mr. Krabs' The Underworld is like the only thing where I could see that having some mimetic potential, but then they use like one word Squidward says, "The underwear, ha ha, underwear, ha ha ha," and I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I guess you really can't predict what's going to be a meme or not. Sometimes anything can just be a meme, and I guess it just depends on circumstance and just everything coalescing into like the like perfect like soup, meme soup. Like it all just has to be completely random and off the wall, unexpected, and you don't know when it's gonna hit or why or how, but when it does, like, boy, does it hit. Memes are an interesting phenomenon, that's for sure. Anyways, I got bored of that, and then I saw this video recommended to me about um, bugs, specifically Venus flytraps that um, were being tested by the owner of them to see if they could like eat like stuff like fruit flies or insects or things like that. Um, and then the final part of the video would be him getting a like bunch of flies and putting them in a box with a bunch of Venus flytraps and seeing if the swarm of them would land on them and get eaten bit by bit by the Venus flytraps. And overall, I mean, it was a fairly educational video about, like, different carnivorous plants and like how they eat and how bugs fall prey to them and things like that. But overall, the ending was a bit of a letdown. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this epic, like, fly death thing. And overall, it was just really disappointing. Like, it didn't really land at all. Although, there was one last video I watched where a guy was no, not a guy. There was like a show where it was like a top 10 list of like bug insect fights and brawls, and like the bugs would like be fighting each other, and I got bored of that. Like, one of the top comments was, why am I sitting here at 1 p.m. a.m. in the morning watching bugs fighting? And I was thinking, you know what, bro, I agree. Why am I doing this? So I stopped because I was getting that, like, brain fog. And then afterwards, I got up, I went into the living room. I told my sister about what I was watching and how I got in, like, the weird nature of YouTube rabbit holes. And she agreed about that, and how it can be fun, but then it can be tiring at times. And then Avery was done with his little purr meditation, I guess you could say, and then I took him outside because he needed to use the restroom, and then he was going to drink the pool water, so I decided to try to get him to drink filtered water instead, and he did drink some, but he decided to go outside to the front of the house and drink water from that was rainwater that was sitting in a plastic lid that had been left outside instead. I find that he likes drinking water more outside than inside, which is an interesting observation. And then afterwards, I brought our cat in, and he wanted to sit with my sister, but she didn't want him to sit with her because she didn't like the way his breath smelled. So she constantly pushed him away till eventually she decided to make a little, like, nest egg for him to sit on, and that seemed to do the trick. Then I decided to get ready for bed by I already took my vitamins, like, way before, like, any of this, like, right when I was taking giving Avery his purr music. I took a bunch of vitamins that I take every night, and I took them this night. And after that, I decided to brush my teeth and take my mouthwash and spat that out. And when I was done with that, I was going to say good night to my sister, and then I noticed she was digging into one of my chicken breasts, and that kind of got me a little upset because, like, she, I mean, I thought it was, like, going to be my future lunch, and then, like, she said there's, like, a bunch of chicken in there. I thought you were bringing the chicken here out of the kindness of your heart so everyone could eat it. And then I said, no, I brought this chicken here because I was planning on eating it for future meals. And then she said, well, I don't think that's, I don't want to eat your chicken anymore. You're being very rude about this because I wanted to eat the chicken. And I thought you were going to give it to everybody, but you're not giving it, and that makes me upset. I don't know. And I said, look, I got this chicken because I was going to plan on eating it later, and I actually don't mind if you eat it, but only if like you ask, because I don't know, if you brought food home and someone decided to barge in and start eating your food without your permission, wouldn't you feel violated? I didn't actually ask that. I should have, but I didn't really think about it at the time. I was just kind of like caught off guard by the whole situation. But yeah, she got really upset because she thought that I was like, oh, that's a lot of chicken and you should give it to everyone without needing to be asked permission, or that's the vibe I got, and she got really angry at me. I don't know. So I decided to back down from the whole situation because I just didn't have the energy to deal with any drama, especially late at night when it's like a work night and I need to be at work tomorrow from 12 to 9, and I just don't want any of that. Like, it's unnecessary. It's just spinning wheels, especially for something like fried chicken. I mean, I guess it's the principle though that mattered to me, because like, again, like I preferred if anyone asked me before they got into things I brought, like, unless I explicitly wrote like on the box, free chicken for anyone to take, like, then I wouldn't be upset at all. But the fact that I brought it in, there was no indication that it was for everyone or it wasn't for everyone, and then she just decided to help herself without thinking about how I would feel about it. Just caught me off guard and made me upset. I don't know. We'll see how this situation plays out tomorrow. I don't know if she'll still be upset with me or if she'll, realize where I was coming from. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to see things through her perspective. Like, I guess she thought that I was bringing food for everyone, but she assumed that. She didn't really, have any hard evidence to back it up. So, and now she's thinking it seems like she's thinking I'm a prude and a jerk because, she's taking stuff that doesn't belong to her and thinking that it was going to be one thing when it wasn't that thing at all. Like, putting preconceived ideas that didn't have any evidence to verify that they made any sense at all. So I don't know. It's complete nonsense, and I think I've gone on long enough about it. Okay, well, anyways, after that whole debacle, I was like, well, I'm feeling a little, tight-chested with annoyance and, like, peeved offness right now. So I guess I'll just turn the camera on and make this video. So that's what I'm making right now. Didn't know I was going to end this day with drama over fried chicken, but I guess anything's possible with each and every day. So, yeah. I just hope that none of this drama doesn't continue tomorrow and, like, we're able to find common ground and we're not gonna let this drag on, because I really don't want arguments over fried chicken to drag on forever. It just, like, let's just see eye to eye, understand where each other was coming from, not get extremely upset about it, and just look at things through a godlike point of view. Like, oh, this is what this person wanted, that's what that person wanted, and they, this is what their thought process was and all that. and then just move on. It's like drama for the sake of drama. It's like, who cares? Why am I even talking about this? I don't know. Okay, I'm tired. I'm going on now. I'm rambling. All right. Well, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the beddy bugs bite. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.